Hello. So I want to do a comparison video of my custom Vander Specs. These are like a B6 folio style for the Stalogy versus the Giglio B6 Punto. So if you are interested in seeing the comparison for sizes, stay tuned. Into it. These two covers here are custom Vander Specs. They were made, instead of being made from a codex, I had them made from the standard size ring binder and basically had Petra heighten them slightly and then just obviously not put rings in. So that basically helps to fit the Stalogy notebook. Now, these, even though they look very similar, are two different sizes. So this one is the standard 25 millimeter rings. This one is the standard 30 millimeter rings. And then off to the side is my B6 Punto from Giglio. And I just kind of wanted to do a comparison just for size wise so that you guys can kind of, gauge what might work better for you. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. So it's going to be a little tough to do a comparison with these two because I can't remember. It's such a small amount, like millimeters, maybe 3 or 4 millimeters total was the actual difference between these two. And so you can see a teeny little bit where this is a little bit bigger here. Obviously you can even see that like the pen loop, it comes out just a little bit more. They are, essentially, this has, let me take this off just so that it can sit properly. They're the exact same height. So, no real difference there. But putting them side by side like this, now you can kind of see the difference. This one I currently have a mini happy planner in right now that I'm using for my memory keeper. So it does make the cover, I don't want to say wonky, but it sort of off centers it just a little bit when it's closed. So that's why it's a little tougher to see that this one is like the teensiest bit wider. The reason why I went with the 30 instead of the 25 was I had the 25 made. I absolutely love this planner. I'm struggling coming out of it because I love it so much. But so here was the issue that I ran into with this one. I love, especially in my bullet journals, I love having two pen loops because I use my mild liner and then I use whatever pen I'm using at the time. And with the regular Stalogy size book, when I closed it, and you can see it a little bit right now because the cover moved some, see how that pen loop goes into the cover. So I brought the Stalogy to Staples. It wouldn't have been a big deal had I not already been working in it. So you can see, like, I had it cut down. I think I had it cut down by like 5 millimeters. So there are some things in here that got cut because of it. And I did have like these teeny little side tabs going from November on, and all of those got cut off, obviously, because of the fact that I had to cut the book slightly. So when I cut the book, let me move this. Now you can see, looking from top down, that loop doesn't hit. So I went with the 30 this time because I thought, well, if I do a 30, then the Stalogy will fit in better. I don't have the Stalogy in here right now, but I can tell you it does fit better. It does kind of barely, but it does clear the book without needing to cut it. So that was my goal. So if you're looking to have this done, it's a lot cheaper to do it this way, going with the standard 30 millimeter and having it heightened. And if anybody needs those measurements, just put a message below and I'll put the exact measurements that I had for these customs. So this one is burnt pink because I do get a lot of questions about color. And I'll compare these two colors after. And then this one is tapestry gray. It is a little more gray than I thought, but this is out of my comfort zone for me. I am like generally like pinks and purples. I love like color. Color just gives me so much joy. And this is like kind of boring. But I put some color on the inside and that definitely helps. But I did this on purpose. I really wanted to push myself into getting something more neutral. And I can use this in situations where I'm like, oh, I don't really need to have big bright colors. So that's why I got this, because I was sort of pushing myself. Okay, so now I'm going to compare with the B6 Punto. And I'm going to compare the 30 millimeter. I'll compare all of them, but we're going to start with the 30. So, right here. All right, so right off, let me get this directly under the camera. Right off, you can see a lot of differences here. So, you can see that if I line it up right, that the Punto looks to be and I mean, we're talking millimeters here, taller. Let's stand them up. So standing them up, that's where it is. I mean, it's such a tiny bit, like, I don't even know, 1 millimeter. So it's such a small amount on top. It's pretty unnoticeable. The one thing I do notice, it's so hard to line them up this way, but it is a fair amount wider. So still not tons, but it is a little bit wider. And it's just hard to explain, but like the configuration of the inside for some reason seems to just allow for so much more. So I want to try and do a real similar comparison. So this B6 Punto has a Stalogy and the B6 Plus like term with the soft cover in it. It's fairly thick. I also do have 2 notebooks on the side. That's because I'm just still trying to stretch out leather. So, but let's try and get all of the same stuff in the Vander Specs so that we can kind of compare chunkiness. I only have one of these like terms, so I'm gonna have to take it out of here. But this way you can just kind of see what it looks like when I open it up. This is what the inside, I have this slid into this cover here, but this is what the inside looks like for the B6 Punto. And this is what the Vander Spec looks like. So definitely different. This one does have the zipper pocket in the back and like a secretarial, and it has this pocket here and a pocket here, whereas this one just, well, it does have two, has 1, 2, and then card slots and a small pocket. So the configuration is a little bit different, which might help thickness wise, you know, might change the cover a little bit because there's like more leather in spots on one of them versus the other. So let's give this a shot, and I'm going to set this one aside while we fill this one up to look at it. So you can see with it being heightened, it slides in really nice, and there's a little bit of extra space there, which I prefer. I like having that extra room. I did try putting this like in the side cover, and oops, let me get my camera not quite so wonky here. I tried putting this in the side cover, and it fit, at least in the B6 Punto. I don't know if it'll fit in here. Let's look really quick while we're at it. It fit in the Punto, but nope, it won't fit in this one. This one is slightly higher. So even though it did fit in the Punto, like it slid in, I couldn't really close it right. So I'm just kind of stack it. And actually, for it to be exactly the same amount of thickness, we're going to need to put these books, or at least attempt to put these books in the back pocket. So I think this will really show width-wise that a Punto is a little bit bigger, because just even like looking at putting these books in, there's a little bit more space to do that in the Punto. So the Punto, in my opinion, is great for a stuffer. So somebody that really wants a stuffed book that they can get lots of things in. And let me show you why. Okay, well, it will close, and it closes without too much difficulty. But you can clearly see, and you know, it's fine as far as like pen loops and stuff like that, but you can clearly see like it's not holding, isn't all that I had in there as good as the Punto did. So clearly that Punto is, you know, the Punto is definitely bigger. So like I said, it's great for those of you that really super stuff your planners and need lots and lots of space. For my bullet journal, that's not me. Really, as you can see, and I kind of bullet journal. I'm definitely not like a real bullet journaler, because I use my weeks for my monthlies and my weeklies, but I use this kind of more for daily and brain dump. And you guys have seen this video, my videos on my B6 in the past. So this might get, like, it might get kind of chunky, but it still will be perfect having just the one book in there. Even though it gets chunky, this will allot for the chunkiness. And that's really all I need for my basic. I don't need, you know, to have tons of stuff in for my basic bullet journal. So I do have multiple covers. Some are for the purposes of being able to kind of switch them up as my mood changes, which is like every other day. And some is so, you know, because I use different books for different purposes, and they're not always necessarily planners. Sometimes they're journals, sometimes, you know, they're I need to choose, which I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to do, but I'm gonna probably put my other B6 for my sermon notes in one of these. I currently just have it in a jelly cover that I made. So I don't know if it'll be in this one. I don't think I'm gonna put it in here because I really need to use this for more stuffing. So I also wanted to compare color of my burnt pink and the new aubergine. I obviously can't speak for the old one. I don't have one. I have not had one. This one is definitely more on that like rosish side. It's coming off fairly true to color. It might be a little bit off on the video, but so this is burnt pink, and this is real ostrich. It's just the ostrich X. So you can kind of see, like, when you lay them next to each other, this one definitely has more, or to me, to my eye, because I have to say that because a lot of us see things differently, more of an orangey, yellowish hue versus the burnt pink being more of a true pink, trying for it to not look blue. So you can kind of see, you know, there we go. There's a definite difference between the two. They're similar, but there's a definite difference. So anyway, I just wanted to give you that quick comparison. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, like and subscribe, and follow me over on Instagram if you'd like as well. If you have questions, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching my video, and I will see you next time. Bye.